and welcome to round 5 of the Saleucami Showdown, the final round here from Entoyment. This video is brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and for this final round, I am joined once again by...
Hi guys, I'm Amy.
Hello again, Amy. Welcome back to the channel. Really looking forward to your insights on this. Got your favourite faction on the table today. We've got some Empire for you to talk about, so hopefully you'll have a lot of insights with those. So as I said, this is round 5 of the Saleucami Showdown tournament, recently held at Entoyment. It is a hyperspace tournament. It was full Swiss, so there was no top cut for this. With it being in the middle of a pandemic, there wasn't a huge amount of players, but it was really nice to get the players that we did have to come down. So, as always, what we'll do, we'll run through those lists for you, and then we'll break down what's happening in the game, have a bit of a chat about Star Wars, and hopefully keep you up to date with all the latest happenings. So, as I said, I will start with Fraser on the left with his Republic list. So we have Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Delta 7 Ether Sprite with R4P17 in calibrated laser targeting. We have Oddball with ion missiles and Deadeye shot in the V19 Torrent. We have Hound in the LA-80 with Plo Koon, Wolfpack and Diamond Boron missiles. And rounding out the list, we have Tucker, again in the V19 Torrent with the ion missiles. So a nice little Republic list there. And what do we have on that Empire side there, Amy?
So we've basically got a really nice looking Empire list, and it's not a list that I've seen used before. So it is 4 TIE Advanced used together as a little bit of a swarm by the looks of it. So we've got Darth Vader at the front, using Brilliant Evasion, Hull Upgrade and Passive Sensors. And then we've got 3 Tempest Squadron pilots. All of them have got passive sensors on as well, apart from one which has also got ion missiles. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one flies. I'm quite tempted to fly it myself, to be honest, because I've not. It looks really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those Tempest Squadron are pretty good, and to be honest, the TIE V1, the TIE X1 itself is actually a really good ship anyway. So it'll be quite interesting to see how well they do. Makes it quite nice and easy to know exactly what maneuvers they can pull off as well, with it all being the same ship. You don't have to worry about what can do what there, I suppose.
Yeah, it's also quite nice as well seeing a TIE fighter in the Empire with shields on as well. I've only ever really seen that with First Order. So it should be quite nice to see how the Republic is able to take down these TIE fighters.
True. And what I think is quite interesting is the inclusion of passive sensors on all of those ships. What do you think about that?
I kind of like the idea of it. It's not an upgrade I've used very often, but basically when you spend a charge, you can only perform this action in your perform action step. So while it's inactive, you cannot be coordinated, and then before you engage, if your charge is inactive, you may perform a calculate or a target lock action. It'll be quite nice to see how that works within the whole swarm. I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like and how it works.
Yeah, I mean, what I quite like about that is there's always that worry when you have low initiative ships like these Tempest Squadrons. They're all initiative 2, and where Ned has the initiative, they're flying first. So you can target lock a ship thinking, great, I'm going to have that ship, but then it moves and suddenly you're like, okay, I no longer have that ship in my arc, so I can't shoot. So the idea of passive sensors allowing you to then choose that target lock later really works quite nicely, especially with the advanced times computer, which is built into the Tempest Squadrons. So that is a really nice combination there. It's going to be quite interesting to see how it comes up against this Republic list, who I think are going to, by the look of it, looking like they want to try and get up and round the side of those Tempest Squadron.
Yeah, it sort of looks as if they're going up and around to try and catch their flank. Apart from Obi-Wan Kenobi, who's sat at the top, going straight for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what Obi-Wan Kenobi does, though. He goes in hard and fast and hopefully gets in some damage, whilst the rest of it comes in and draws the fire. So, I mean, what I'm really interested in is, will we get Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader at any point during this game?
I hope so. That would be quite cool.
It would be. And obviously, looking at the Republic list, it's quite an interesting list there, with the 2 Torrents and the LA-80. The LA-80 was quite a popular ship just before the tournament. It was surprising we only had 2 lists in the day which actually had that LA-80 there, being that it was a brand new ship. But it is really quite cool, and the inclusion on there of Wolfpack is quite a nice upgrade. So for those of you that aren't familiar, after a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 defends, if the attacker is in your firing arc, the defender may gain 1 strain token to acquire a lock on the attacker. So there's a lot of interesting lock abilities in there at the moment, and especially considering you have Oddball, Hound, and Tucker, all with various munitions. They're really hoping to utilize Wolfpack to try and get those locks on and get as much damage in as possible there.
Yeah.
So we've got a bit of a turnaround there from the X1s, deciding actually we can see where the Republic's going, and there's an Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's see if we can have a little bit of a taste of him and see if we can get some damage in on him early.
Yeah, I have to admit, I don't blame them. The Jedis can be a little bit nasty to go up against, especially with all of that force, and then all of the shenanigans they can do around the board with barrel rolls and all sorts. The Ether Sprites are quite nimble little ships.
Yeah, they are very nimble, and especially with that ability to force barrel roll or boost and then reposition with your normal action, it gives them the opportunity to get calibrated laser targeting into effect, which obviously it's the only version of the configuration you can do in hyperspace, but it is a very good configuration, I find. I actually think I prefer it a little bit to the actual Delta 7B configuration, not just because it's a lot cheaper, but I just think that utility there, I mean, yes, you can really beef up the Delta 7, but I just quite like calibrated laser targeting. If you can get it to work, it is really good. Now, I'm not sure if Fraser was expecting Ned to turn back up the board towards him there, and if he was, would he have still done that 5 straight maneuver?
Yes, he's potentially got 3 of those ships. Possibly not anymore now, but no. At least 2. One of them is definitely an arc at range 1.
Yeah, so he's definitely got 1 in arc at range 1. I would say only the 1. I'd say Blue is turned enough that he doesn't have arc. Now, I think Fraser's there debating whether to leave it there. I mean, if it was me, I'd leave it there, stick a focus on, and hope for it, but it looks like he's going for the safer option to get out of arc. So he still does have a range 1 shot there, but I think I'd have kept Obi-Wan there, accepted that I was going to get shot once, and then go for it. Oh, very fine flying there from Vader, just missing that obstacle.
It was very close.
Indeed. So we are going to get a shot this round. It looks like it's just going to be Obi-Wan taking the first shot. Yeah, so range 1 shot there from Obi-Wan. And we have 2 blanks and a focus. Yeah. So Fraser decided not to spend the Force there. I think that's the right option. Anyone that's familiar with Force uses, you don't want to starve them with Force early on. It makes it a bit tricky for them to actually get the Force back if you're in a lot of combat. And it looks like green and blue have used their passive sensors to get the calculates target locks there on Obi-Wan, hoping to get him into arc in a bit. So at this stage, as an Empire player, what do you think you'd be doing right now, Amy?
Well, looking at where the lat is and the 2 torrents, I reckon the Empire will probably push forward through the middle to engage those 3 ships, because with Obi-Wan where he is, I should suspect he's probably going to come around the back, unless there is the choice, I believe, to do some form of K-turn. But would you like to stress yourself out just to have a shot at Obi-Wan when you can potentially move forward, do some safer actions, and start getting down the hull and shields of those 3 ships at the top? I personally would move forward through the middle. It makes more sense.
So ignore Obi-Wan for the time being and go for the meat of the list there, would you say?
Yeah, because it looks as if they're coming towards the Empire anyway, looking at where they possibly are, unless they're going up and around.
Yeah,
might also be, depending on what they're doing, it might be able to catch them as they're turning round and have shots on them without actually being in their arc to shoot back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting Vader to do something quite quick to see if he can start getting up behind those torrents, because I can imagine Vader with passive sensors and the Force, he's going to quite like his options there.
I mean, what would you do with the Republic?
So I'd be tempted to turn the lat and the torrents in at this stage, come straight down the middle at them, and hopefully use those ion missiles. Obi-Wan would be looking to turn in hard behind those TIE Advance and hopefully catch one of them. I mean, now that I've seen that green has just done that Talon roll there, it definitely makes me want to get those turrets in and down there and start trying to plink away at them. I mean, it's a very brave Talon roll, doing it over that debris cloud. That gas cloud, obviously straining himself there.
I completely forgot that they do have Talon rolls on them. I know that they've got the signal loops, but I completely forgot about the Talon rolls. But it looks as if they're all doing that just to try and figure out where Obi's going to get those shots in.
Yeah, I think obviously yellow was stressed, so he couldn't do that, which is fine. But blue and green were in a position to do that, so they've really decided they want to go for Obi and take him down as quickly as possible. I mean, the LA-80 is going to take a bit of time to get down there. He doesn't have a particularly fast turn there. And if he can, just having a look, if he can bring Vader now 3 hard, barrel roll in between those 2 asteroids in the middle, and then passive sensor, he could be in a position to get Obi-Wan in shot, and then you might have 3 shots on Obi-Wan there.
Yeah, good shot. I think hopefully that is what might happen. That'd be quite nice to see if he is able to swing round and wave hello at his nemesis.
Yeah. So we've got a bump there from Tucker into Hound. But Oddball is doing a barrel roll there to get right in front of Yellow. Now, what's really quite nice there is that there's no real negatives there for Fraser on doing that, because Oddball's ability, after you fully execute a red maneuver or perform a red action, if there is an enemy ship in your bullseye, you may acquire a lock on that ship. So he's deliberately barrel rolled, taken that red evade, which gives him a bit more on defense, and gets that lock. So that's actually a really good maneuver there.
Yeah, that's really good.
Ooh. Obi-Wan. Does Obi-Wan now push round with a boost?
That's what I'm thinking as well, because he might potentially get, he should, if he boosts to the right, get out of arc. He won't have any shots unless it's on Vader, which, to be honest, looking where the Vader is, he might get some shots in.
Yeah. So we've got that boost. That gets him out of arc of both those TIE Advance X1s, which is a bit of a shame for Ned, but also I'm wondering, is that what Fraser wanted to be doing, to have to spend the Force and boost him round? And we are going to have
good shouts.
The Master versus the Apprentice.
Dun, dun, dun.
He can't get that barrel roll in like I thought. The three didn't quite go as far as hoping, but he's just going straight for the target lock and spending a Force to do a focus with Vader's inbuilt ability there. And we have a hit and 2 focuses, so advanced targeting computer to a crit and 2 hits. That's 3. What can Obi-Wan do here? A focus, a blank, and an evade. Spending the focus, so we've lost a shield on Obi-Wan. So first blood.
So that's still quite successful.
Yeah. So taking the shield there. Now, forgetting Obi-Wan's ability there, it would appear, which... So, for those who are not familiar, after a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 spends a focus token, you may spend 1 Force. If you do, that ship gains 1 focus token. So he could have potentially spent either a Force to change that, which would have got him a hit on Vader, or got that focus back. So missed opportunity there to get some damage in on Vader. And we go for an ion onto Yellow. Yeah. So using fire convergence there from the LA-80. So with the LA-80, while a friendly ship performs a non-turret attack, if the defender is in your turret arc, you may spend 1 charge. If you do, the attacker rerolls up to 2 attack die. So we've got a damage and an ion onto Yellow there, which is actually really good for Fraser, because now he knows exactly where it's going to be. He can converge with all of his ships on that. Bit of bumping there with the ships. So using passive sensors to get a lock on Hound there. So we got focus and 2 hits. Changing 1 to a crit with advanced targeting computer. And scoring another crit there with the target lock.
That is quite a good roll.
Yep. So that's 1 going through. Because Hound is reinforced, that's another one that's evaded as well. So just 1 shield. So not terrible. Actually fairly good there, to be honest.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And there's Wolfpack triggering, straining Hound, and getting that target lock on yellow. Which at this point, I think that's a good idea to strain himself because he's not got anything else that's going to shoot him. So it's a no-brainer, no negative there.
Yeah.
So looks like we're going to get one more shot come in, but while we're waiting for that, Amy, what's your thoughts now? What would you be doing? Bearing in mind, obviously, yellow's doing 1 forward, so we'll ignore yellow.
Right, so green and blue, I should imagine are probably going to be doing some sharp turns to the right to try and get around the back of Obi-Wan. Vader, on the other hand, I reckon, or I'd like to see a slow move towards the left. Because obviously with order of play, Obi-Wan has got to go and move first. So I reckon Obi-Wan's going to go in between those asteroids, towards the middle of the board possibly. Maybe Vader can come up behind him as well, I'm not sure. Depends on how fast they all decide to go. But definitely with green and blue, I would expect them to do a sharp, fast turn just to get closer in range to Obi-Wan, and a little bit more in range.
Yeah. So just had a diamond boron trigger there. So damage on green. A couple of damage on yellow. So yellow is now down to 2 hull. Nothing on blue there, so yeah, no, I completely agree. I reckon 2 hard from blue, 3 hard from green, and yeah, I think at this stage, with Vader staring down that asteroid, he's probably going to be slow turning, or maybe even a hard 2 to the left, up the middle of the board, trying to avoid the asteroid and hope that Obi-Wan tries to go fast and sneaky.
Yeah, I'm thinking either a 1 bank to the left and possibly a barrel roll, or a 2 sharp and maybe a boost or a barrel roll, just to try and get behind Obi.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be a boost anymore because you can't stick engine upgrade on him anymore.
Oh no, of course, yeah, it's just boost.
Barrel.
Barrel roll, sorry. It began with a B.
Yeah.
It counts.
I mean, I think that's one of the reasons that I tend not to fly the TIE Advance is that lack of boost now. It kind of makes me feel that it's... Although it's got a lot of good moves on there, I feel that it lacks that additional reposition that you can get. I mean, the fact that Vader, if he had that, he could potentially do a boost, barrel roll, and target lock all in the same turn. Yes, he'd have no force left afterwards, but that's why you'd stick something like Hate on him in a non-hyperspace format. But it's going to be interesting to see. If I was Fraser, I'd be tempted. Like, I could see the temptation to move Obi-Wan quickly to try and avoid those 2 TIE Advance behind him, but also where Vader is right there, I would also be tempted to go slower, maybe get in behind Vader and try and get some damage there.
Yeah, he has got a couple of options. Could he go fast, as you said, to try and get out of the way of the other two ties coming in behind him? Slow to try and get behind Vader or force him to bump? Or, I can't remember the dial too well on Obi's ship. Have they got a K-turn that they could possibly do? Just to throw another one out there.
So he's got the 4 and 5 K-turn, so that could be quite interesting. I completely forgot about the K-turn, to be honest. That it would be... I'm wondering, a K-turn might be one of the best options there.
Yeah, so he'll definitely be, he might be an arc of the other two ties that are out the back, but he'll hopefully definitely be out of range. But also, they still have a shot on Darth Vader, depending on how fast and sharp he decides to turn before that asteroid.
Oh, interesting. So going for the one bank to clear that stress. And let's see if we get the barrel roller. Well, he doesn't need passive senses. He's already got the target lock on, so... Yeah, there we go. There's the barrel roll up the board. I'd say up and back would be best. Widen that angle out as much as possible. Yeah. There's a what do we reckon? A 2 or still a 1? Oh, there's the 2.
2.
And just remind me, is that blue on the TIE Advanced dial?
That is, yeah. They have got a few blue moves on their dial. So they've got the 1 and 2 banks, which are blue, and the 2 and 3 straights are blue. It's probably not a lot compared to other ships, but it is still a good few moves to have to clear that stress or the strain.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite nice little blues on there. So, I mean, that clears the strain and the stress on green. So it gets him in an interesting little train line there.
Yeah, I was just thinking that as well.
Looks like we've got another bump there from Tucker. So that's the second bump there. But I think, to be honest, you'd want Hound to get his action before you get Tucker an action. So we do have a nice little box of fire there down into yellow.
Yeah, I think yellow's a little bit scared at this point with the 3 ships up against him.
Yeah.
Only 2 hull.
It's almost a shame that you've got Oddball right at the front there rather than Tucker. Because I'd almost think that it'd be nice to get that range 5, that I-5 shot from a bit further away. I think we do have that 5K. Good shout there, Amy, on that
Nice.
K-turn. That 5K turn actually
going?
Brilliant. Oh. So we do have a little bit of shenanigans there from Obi-Wan using his R4P17. So after you fully execute a red maneuver, you may spend 1 charge to perform an action, even while stressed. So it looks like Obi-Wan took that target lock on Vader. Vader doing that 1 bank that we anticipated.
Yeah.
Barrel roll up and see if you can... Would that get you out of arc? I mean, you wouldn't be able to get yourself... Either way, you'll be in range 1. But it might be nicer to get yourself barrel rolled up.
Yeah, I'm tempted to barrel roll to the left and up as well, just to see if I can... I mean, looking at the screen, I think he's possibly already at range 1 anyway. Yeah. It's whether he can get a little bit closer or put himself in a better position for the next round.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got himself into range 1 there of yellow, so that's Oddball. So And he's moving that target lock over, so spending a force for that. I think that's a really nice position for Vader on Oddball. Hopefully he can do quite a bit of damage in there before Oddball gets a chance to hit yellow.
Yeah, and he's still got a couple of force left to play with as well, ready for his shot up the backside from the Jedi.
Yeah. And it looks like we've got 2 hits, a focus, and a crit, spending a force. So 3 hits and a crit. Oh, we have 1 of these. That's 3 going through. So that's hit, crit. And it is a hull breach.
Ouch.
That is not a good time to get a hull breach there. So all damage cards are now face up. Unless he spends an action to repair that.
I have to admit, Hull Breach and Fuel Leak are my 2 dreaded ones to see as crits on the board.
Yeah.
Or direct hit.
It looks like we've got Oddball versus yellow there. Using Fire Convergence to reroll 1, debating spending that focus. So he is spending the focus, then using one of Obi-Wan's force to allow him to regain that focus. So 2 hits on yellow. And that's 2 focuses and an evade. Spend that focus on yellow. And that Tempest Squadron is still there.
Wow, he's done quite well there.
Yeah, very well. I'm not going to lie. Just having a look, see what Obi-Wan has in Arc. I think you'd be crazy not to go for Vader right there.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'd be tempted to go at him as well.
Yeah. Yeah, re-rolling with the target lock. And that's 3 hits. Oh, sorry, hitting 2 crits, sorry. So that's 1 shield down on Vader. Vader now has no force.
He's done quite well there.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been very painful for Vader.
Yeah, I mean, he will get 1 force back on the next round anyway. Probably still not enough to get him back up to capacity, but he's done quite well to survive there, pretty much unscathed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, Vader's still got a lot of utility there. I mean, instead of spending the force on an action, he could just use passive senses instead. But now we do have the yellow TIE Advance take a shot. Now, I can imagine that's going to be going into Oddball, range 1.
Yeah, see if we can get rid of that last 2 hull and take Oddball out.
Yeah.
It'd be rude not to when they're literally staring right at each other.
So everything that Oddball gets now is okay, so nothing there. That is a bit of a shame. Okay, and nothing from green and blue. Obi-Wan danced right out of the way there.
Yeah, that was quite good.
So now have Hound, 3 dice shot out the front. So that's hit focus blank. Yep, so just the 1. So Tempest Squadron will be absolutely fine there. So
That was a good roll.
Yeah, an evade in there. Final shot from Tucker, spending the focus, 2 hits. Downtown. Oh,
no.
And those 2 hits go through. That is yellow out.
Ouch.
So
He did quite well to survive until the end of the round, though. That was still quite good.
Yeah, I mean, really good then. He's obviously had to use all of those attacks to take one ship down. That's exactly what you kind of want to happen there, to force those attacks into one where you can. So that does mean Fraser has taken a bit of a lead there. But with only 35 minutes played, it's still anyone's game.
So looking at the position on the board, where do you think your ships are going to go next?
So for the Republic, I think they're going to want to try and... I think Hound and Tucker are just going to go forward, casual, one forward for both of them. I'd be looking at Oddball maybe doing a 2 bank in behind green and blue. And Obi-Wan, that 1 hard wouldn't fit in there, unfortunately. Maybe a 1 bank with Obi-Wan, just sort of jump over Vader's base, clear that stress. Maybe barrel up the board. Maybe see if he can get a block in on Vader.
Yeah, I have to admit, I think with the green and blue ties, they've got a little bit more, well, they've got a lot more space compared to the others. They're all quite close together. Yeah. I reckon they'll probably move forward and to the right in between those asteroids. With the looks at where everybody else is, that's probably where the action's going to be. So I'm expecting some right turns from those guys. Vader, on the other hand, I'm expecting maybe some... I'm wondering whether a Talon roll to the left or a K-turn might be an option. If the Lat and the 2 Torrents are moving forwards and down, he might have space to do that there and get behind them. Or whether he's going to try and do a 1 bank to the right, just to have some range 1 shots out of arc of the Republic. But of course, Obi-Wan is constantly going to be behind him.
Yeah. I think what I'd be concerned about with that Talon roll from Vader, if you're going to do that to the left, under his dial there is a mighty big asteroid.
Yeah, I did see that, and I was wondering if he'd be able to squeak around it. I think it might be a bit tight, so I think if he is going to do some form of red manoeuvre, it might probably be a K-turn instead and go straight forwards and face back.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we've got a 2 hard and a K-turn there. So 2 from blue, wow. K-turn from green. I think that's quite good, getting the arcs back round, facing the right way. Let's see what these 2s do. I'd be very surprised if we're not getting less than 1 foot, if we're getting more than 1 forward. Oh, so 2 forward from Hound.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's actually a pretty good manoeuvre. It blocks up a lot of Vader's turning right manoeuvres, and it frees up that space for Tucker to see if he can actually get around without bumping. And Oddball's still got some space there if he decides to do like the 1 hard. I don't think at this point we're going to see my favourite 2 Talon roll with any of the Torrents at this stage.
Oh, of course. I keep forgetting they've got that move as well.
Everyone really does.
Yeah.
And I just think it's such a nice little manoeuvre.
It is, yeah. I mean, when I fly the Separatists on occasion, if I'm doing a little mini droid swarm, I keep forgetting that they've got the 1K turn.
Yeah. And we do get that bump again from Tucker. This is probably why Tucker's an initiative 2, because he can't seem to not hit his friends at this game. And we got a 4 forward onto the gas cloud. That's put Oddball, no strain, but that has put Oddball into a not great position with green facing him down.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if he hadn't have gone there, obviously the green would have had possibly a range 2 shot through the asteroid.
Yeah.
At Hound. However, now he is unobstructed. He's got no tokens. He's probably got a good chance to get some good hits on Oddball.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan is just bumped straight into blue there.
Oh, that's not a good move.
That surprises me. I mean, I think most of the viewers probably could have seen that was the most likely. Oh, we have a lot of bumping today.
Oh, we can't make the 4K.
No, trying to make that 4K bumping. Is that's a nice range 1 out the back.
From the lat.
Yeah, nice range 1 out the back of the lat. Just double checking that was not going to go over the asteroid there from Vader, but I think that's quite clear.
Yeah. It's a shame that 4K didn't clear. That would have been quite nice to have him turning around and sitting behind Tucker there, getting some shots in range 1. Ooh.
So it looks like having to spend a force there to get 2 hits. And that's 2 evades there, so absolutely nothing.
Of course, Darth hasn't got shots.
So it's down, so it's only green. 1 crit, evaded.
Oof.
And then the LA-80. I mean, you've got to take that range 1 on Vader right now, yeah?
Yeah, it pains me to say it because he is one of my favourites, but yeah, it would be a range 1 shot at him. Oh.
Okay, that's very surprising. Hold on, we've got a moment of pause here.
Of course, his arc's facing forward, so he doesn't have a shot at Vader. Or has he got a backwards arc from on there?
It's a forwards and backwards arc.
Oh, I thought it was just a one-way arc.
No, it is a 2-way arc.
Ah, okay. I can't see it from this angle, so...
Yeah. I think that's going to be something that Fraser may come to regret, not taking that range 1 shot there on Vader. That was very surprising. I think I would have gone range 1 on Vader any day of the week there. Range 1 on Vader with 1 force token left and no modifications other than that. That was your prime opportunity. I mean, yes, he's got brilliant evasion to change too, but disappointing. Oh, and we do have a shot from Tucker. Oh, and I think that Fraser has just realised that he missed the opportunity to take a shot at Vader there.
Yeah. I have to admit, there was an opportunity too good to miss.
Yeah.
But Vader's quite happy there.
Yeah, so all in all, I think that was quite a nice turn there for Vader. He was happy about that. I mean, he would have liked to have got a shot off, but
Yeah.
Doesn't look like any damage taken there by anyone, so...
No, I mean, Oddball did quite well as well. He was put in a very difficult position, sat there on the gas cloud, and he survived quite nicely as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very well played there. Very sneakily played there by Oddball. I won't say well played because I don't know how planned that actually was. But I think this is going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Talon from Blue to the right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what Vader might do as well, because obviously he's now stressed from doing that bumped 4K turn. He is quite limited with his blue maneuvers. They're all straights and blanks. So I'm wondering which way he's going to go.
Yeah. I think Vader might have to disengage for a little bit to come back around. I think the best thing he can do to get back around quickly is probably either just say, you know what, I'm going to stay stressed and do a too hard to the right to come in behind, or maybe do a one bank to the right barrel roll. But I think it's a difficult position.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Is he going to? He's got to barrel roll out the way of that. Either way, he's going to hit the asteroid. Oh.
He's landed on the asteroid.
Oh, is he just clipped
damage.
it?
He's just clipped it. Gonna get a 4K there.
Try and get up behind Obi-Wan. That's a wise idea, that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the target lock's already there. I mean, maybe if Obi-Wan's trying to do a one bank, he's been blocked there potentially by green. Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting choice there. I think I'd have just done a 2 forward. So let's see. Can Tucker do something without bumping this round? I mean, I'm hoping that yeah. I was about to say, I'm hoping that template isn't going in the same direction he was holding it there, because that would have been straight into the rock. So yes, Tucker has managed to get himself round no bumping this time. So this is the first real action of the day for Tucker.
Yeah, so it looks as if he's got a range 2 shot through the asteroid at green.
Yeah. I think what he's going to try and do is see if he can get an ion off there and see if he can force him to go back through.
Yeah, I'd agree with that one.
We've got a
bit of extra damage.
Yeah, we've got a bump for the LAA2 there. Now, definitely going to need to train track that, because I want to see how far round. I think that was very laxly done there. I think they should have been a bit more clinical about that. I will say this is the last round of the day, so it's 5th round of the day. Been playing for quite a while today. So, but we did get that block there.
Yeah. Either way, the latter's still got a very good range one shot on that green tie, and of course he can't shoot back because he's on the asteroid. So
true. That is indeed true. However, you do. Well, I think everything's probably going to be going into our friend Green there.
Yeah. I mean, luckily he has got 1 shield and 3 hull left, but will it be enough to help him survive the round?
Yeah. Oh, and we do get that too hard from Vader. Does that get his arc round enough to get the LA-80?
I think it might just get it. If not, he might still have the torrent at range 3.
Yeah, I think he might.
I don't think there'd be any shots from Obi-Wan this round either, because of course he's bumped and he's got nobody in arc.
Yeah.
So
it looks like we're getting Vader onto Oddball. That's where his target lock is. So hit, crit, crit. Didn't even need to change it because he's got hull breach. And that's 2 evades. Damaged engine. He's got off lucky there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all of his hard maneuvers are now one harder, so they're all reds, if I remember rightly now. So let's have a quick looky at the torrent. Yeah, so that makes his 2 hard maneuvers red now. So Oddball was out of arc. Nothing from Obi-Wan. We've got Blue Tempest now, who surely has to go at Obi-Wan. That's where the target lock is. So advanced target's computer for the crit, spending the lock. Oh, just 1 crit. That's hard. And absolutely fine. 2 evades there. And now we have Tucker in the LA-80.
Oh, looks like no shot there.
Nope. I'm going to use fire convergence though. Allowed to reroll that, so 2 hits. And that is 2 hits. Oh, we should have 1 extra dice there. Okay, so 1 evade. So reroll those
for the
there.
asteroid.
Yeah. Reroll there. 1 evade, so. And this time we are going for Vader range 1. Oh, no, whiffed it. Oh, 2 blanks. Should have been 3 dice. Oh, 3 blanks. That is
Ouch.
not what you want to see at all.
No, definitely not.
Now, one thing I just want to point out for those of you that are keeping an eye on the overlays, There does seem to be a little bit of confusion there. If you can just see, we do have 2 of the Tempest squadrons both down on 1 shield each. By my reckoning, it actually should have been green down on 0 shields at this point. One of the downsides when you're running multiple ships is it's easy for that to get a bit mixed up. So what we've done is we've kept the overlay to what they have on the actual cards there. So we've got a right little melee in there now. Now, there's nothing that green can do that will not get him going back over that rock.
Yeah, because either way, he's going to bump the lax. I believe they move first before, don't they?
Yeah, so they're going to go
before
first.
The lap does.
So there's... I don't... Unless he does a 3 Talon to the left, that'll get him behind blue. Or in between the 2 blues. Or he's going for the K-turn.
Ooh. That's probably a wise move, actually, because then, yes, he's still going asteroid, but he's not bumping and it'll have shots.
Yeah, true. So we'll just see if he takes any damage there. Oh, and he does take a damage, so that's green down to shield's gone. But again, gets him a shot. That's quite nice, actually.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I reckon we're going to get a bump from Tucker. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, 1 straight from Tucker. That is lovely.
Oh.
Now, that's a really good shot there that Tucker has now on the blue with a target lock. Let's see what the LA-80 does. I'd have been tempted to just do a stop there. But a big move out of the way there for the LA-80. Will he rotate his arc? Maybe see if he can get some fire convergence there. No. Gonna reinforce the rear. Obi-Wan is scarpering. I don't think Obi-Wan... Oh, 5k turn. Okay. Obi-Wan doesn't seem to have been massively effective in this game so far.
No. However, I think that blue tie is possibly looking a little bit scared because he's got Obi facing him down and the 2 torrents. Which I believe Oddball may have him in arc still.
Well, Oddball is still to move as well.
Oh, of course.
So I reckon... I mean, if he does it too hard, I mean, admittedly now with damage engine it's red. But, I mean, I'll tell you what, I mean, we're saying about how nippy this Delta 7 is at the moment. I can't wait for the ETA 2. Now that is going to be a nippy ship. And seeing that coming up against a Tri-Fighter is a matchup I'm really excited about because those 2 are going to be some fun ships to fly.
Oh, yes.
So we go, we get 2 hard. And oh, just missed that asteroid there. Gonna clip that next turn. And Vader just doing that 1 bang, clear his stress. So still plenty to play for here. I mean, looks like Fraser's got a really good opportunity to do a lot of damage in on blue there. If blue survives, then he's definitely got to go on try and clear oddball, and then green to try and put some damage into Tucker, I reckon. But it all depends on what Vader can do here. So Vader's got range 2 on spending the lock. So hit crit. So just a hit crit. And that is oddball down.
Whoa. He's done well to last that long. He's done well.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, that is really, really good for Ned there, because that removes a lot of the danger that blue had there. Now blue's only got 2 ships facing him, as the LA-80's arc is out the back, so I anticipate going at Vader, but we do have a CLT on there, so 2 shots plus the focus. Let's see what we get. So that's 3 hits, spending the focus to keep that force. Let's spend the force to keep the focus. Oh, wow. Focus and 3 evades.
That was some nice dice rolling.
Yep. So Obi-Wan is out of range of green. But, I mean, I don't know why you don't just do a range 1 on to Tucker there. I mean, you've got more chance of getting the damage through. Not like that, though. So, 1 hit and dodged. And blue... Yeah, so blue is putting his target lock on Obi-Wan, so he's going for a long-range shot at Obi-Wan. Oh, triple crit.
That is quite nice for a long-range shot.
Yeah. So spend the focus to evade all of that. Oh, that's a shame. That was really good.
That would have been quite nice to go through as well, because of course he's only got 3 hull left. Could have potentially taken him out at range 3.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious. I would have absolutely loved that. So 1 hit, spending the target lock. 3 hits there on blue. Oh, and only 1 evade, so that's a final shield and a hit onto blue. So that's half points there for Fraser. I think Fraser's now debating whether he should go LA-80 onto green or go on Vader. Yeah, go range 2 on Vader.
Yeah, it makes sense too, especially when he's right behind and he's not obstructed. I think the green one would have been a bit more difficult to hit.
Yeah. 2 hits versus Naddy's there. Absolutely nothing. Vader just laughing it all off. So now what I will say, the LA-80 is in a bit of an awkward position. Unless he does a stop, he's going to be getting himself fairly out of the fight. I reckon we're going to see 2 straight from blue, 2 bank from green, 2 straight from Vader.
Yeah, I agree. Just to try and close that gap a bit, because either way, Obi-Wan's going to be hopefully moving into that area. And I think Tucker's definitely going to try and come left around that asteroid a little bit, hopefully slowly, to see if he can try and get the blue tie just in front of him.
I reckon like a 2 hard, but I think he's going to bump. I think that
I agree.
He might end up doing yet another bump. Obi-Wan is stressed and with 3 tired advance breathing down his neck. I'm not entirely sure what Obi-Wan's going to be able to do here.
No.
It's a real tricky one.
Yeah, I mean, if it was me, I would focus fire down Obi-Wan. Purely because he's only got 3 left. Yes, he has got those 2 balls to play with. However, if they manage to take him out on this 1 round, that is 58 points.
Yeah.
And that's going to put Ned massively in the lead.
Yeah, it's definitely the best option there, I think, for getting some points on the board. I think that the LA-80, although it's more points, there's so much health there to try and chew through that with 8.5 minutes to go, I don't think you've got enough time to get through those points. So,
no.
Coming in with both of them there, so that leaves Tucker clear in behind blue again. But I think they're going to have Obi-Wan.
One shot. Is he going to go to the middle?
Yeah. Where is the LA-80? Is it stopping? 2 bank. Ooh. That's going to be real close on that arc there. I don't think he's got blue in arc. He may get Vader.
No, I agree.
If Vader comes round.
Yeah, he's definitely not got the blue tie. I think that is just about out, but depending on where Vader comes, which I reckon he's probably going to come forward to try and meet Obi-Wan. He's probably going to have a shot at Vader.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think everything's going to be focusing on Obi-Wan now because that's your best option. I think, unfortunately, Vader is probably... Well, unless he does a 1 bank, I think Vader's bumping.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a 1 forward, I don't think.
No, he doesn't. If that ship had a 1 forward, it would be far too powerful. Plus...
Oh, no, he does have a white 1 forward.
Does he?
Yeah, he has a white 1 forward.
And he's doing it.
Yeah, and he's using it.
Oh, wow. Yes. We have some violence coming in on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah. Insert all of your New Hope references in the chat, guys, in the comments below. Yeah, if somehow Obi-Wan survives this and takes Vader out, then insert Revenge of the Sith comments. Okay, so that is 3 crits and a reroll because of the target lock. So that's a hit and 3 crits. So that's 1 crit on Obi-Wan. And it's a fuel leak.
There.
Oh, it's a fuel leak. Oh, ho, ho. That is not what you want right now. So 1 crit on Obi-Wan and he's gone. So fuel leak again, guys. After you suffer 1 critical damage, suffer 1 damage and repair this card. He needs to be taken out. He needs to get Green out of this fight now. Otherwise, he is in trouble.
Yeah. And he's still got 2 other ties to shoot at him as well. And with a fuel leak, that's not really what he wants.
Yeah. I mean, if he can take out that Tempest Squadron, he gets him back up on points. Oh, that could do it. 4 hits.
Oh.
Oh, spend the focus. It's only 2 hits. That Tempest Squadron lives.
That's a good roll.
I mean, that has given Fraser half points there. So he is now back in the lead on points. This is quite likely to be the final round, but so going to spend that target lock. We already have 1 crit. That's a dead Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he's not going to live.
That is a dead Obi-Wan. Yeah. So missing the actual fuel leak trigger there, but doesn't matter. That was enough to take out Obi-Wan.
That was a good roll.
Let's see if Tucker can avenge his master, his Jedi General.
Oh, the lad is doing a range 3 shot by the looks of it.
I think that's pretty much all he's got, that's why, but we'll just see. I think he's debating going for Vader, but I think right now your best option would be to go for that Tempest Squad, see if you can take it out and get those last lot of points on there. That might even tip you over. Oh, yeah. Blank out there from the LAAT. Although, again, I don't think that the LAAT has arc on blue. But we do have Tucker. So 1 hit, spending the target lock. Hit crit. Spending that focus. We've got a crit coming through, which is damaged engine. Oh, that is
so tough. Lucky. That could have been a direct hit with 2 damage, and
yeah. So we've got 1 more round here. I think it is very tough.
So close as well, points-wise as well.
Yeah.
Depending on how the dice rolls and the shots go down, it still could be anybody's game.
Yeah, 79 to 93. I mean, what Fraser needs here is to get a really good shot onto one of those tired vans, take it out, because you're looking at 19 points, which would be enough to tip you over the edge, because that would put him on 98 points.
Yeah.
So the question is, does Ned say, no thank you, and just try to get them out of there? Or does he choose violence and just say, you know what, I'm just going to try and shoot as much as I can into Tucker and take him out? The LAAT is not getting back, unless the LAAT does a stop, it's not getting back in that fight.
Yeah. If it was me, I personally would do exactly what Ned's doing with the 4K turns and focus fire down Tucker, because that is an easy 30 points. Obviously, if you can take him out, but even then, just to get half points with 15, that might still give him the edge to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, if he did manage to get the 15 points there. Oh, have we got a... So doing the side to side, looks like we've just got 3 hard rounds there. So I mean, if they
What's
get
the Talon roll?
No, that was a regular because he went side to side. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
So rather than marking Vader up, just doing the side to side. So
right.
if he gets half on Tucker, that's 15 points. That puts him on 108. Fraser would need to take out both blue and green, which, when he's bumped into him, I don't think it's happening. All you need now is Vader just to casually bump into the back of green and he's fine.
So I personally would have kept, I know the lat's not going to be able to do much, I personally would have kept him there doing a stop.
Yeah.
Just to get some shots in. Granted, he wouldn't have been able to do much, but he would have been at a closer range towards those ties.
Yeah. And again, reinforcing that, I don't understand the choice to reinforce there. If it was me, I would have either target locked or focused. So you've got those modification on the dice. He now has no dice modification except for defense. I mean, yes, green is going to be going for the lap because that's all it's got to shoot. But right now, Vader and blue are going to be hitting Tucker as hard as they can. I mean, Vader now has a range 1 shot on Tucker. Blue's got a range 2 to 3, but
Vader's is still going to be powerful, especially range 1, and he's got full force as well.
3 hits with the force.
Oh.
2 hits. So 2 hits, 1 away from half now. So I would say do blue first, see what you're going to get. So range 2 from blue. Nothing. Oh, this is close.
This is going to be close.
Range 3 on the LA-80. Nothing. Oh. So he's now got 2 opportunities to... Fraser has 2 shots that can win him the game. Oh, no, I think he's going to try...
It's not wise to take out Vader. He's got a better shots at the blue tie at the back with only 1 hull left. He's got nothing to modify his dice with.
Right, so we're going to go LA-80 into green. 2v4. 1 hit. Fine.
He lives.
So Tucker now gets a focus token. What is he? Checking that arc. Oh no, so in range 2. So Tucker now gets a focus token. So that was actually quite a good ploy to do the LA-80 first. Tucker now gets a modified shot against blue. 2 hits. 2 evades.
Yes.
Oh, that was very close there at the end. Wow.
Yes. Long live the glorious Empire.
Yeah. So, another good game.
Wow.
Really good for those tie advance there. Quite an interesting game there. I mean, what did you think, Amy?
I was entertained. It was really good. I'm really tempted to fly a mini swarm of little tired bants now, just to see if I can have some better luck with them. It's been a while since I've done it, since my trench run list, but it was very good. Some good dice rolls, some very good evades as well. That was a very, very close game.
Indeed, it was. Okay, well, Amy, again, thank you very much for joining us for round 5 there.
Thank you. It's been good to be back.
Excellent. We'll hopefully get you back on the channel soon again. But I'd just like to say thank you to everyone that's watched the videos. We're hoping to bring you some more competitive X-Wing in the future when the lockdowns all end. But for now, please do like and subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and we will see you next time.